Hello, this is Nick Muldoon, student number AIPC012979, and we're doing the third section of the fifth prac. Claire, it's nice to see you again.
Hi, nice to see you too.
How have you been going?
Yeah, doing alright.
Alright?
Yeah.
Been surviving the weather? It's been extremely warm.
Yes, definitely. It's been overwhelming.
It has. We're not used to it at the moment. I gotta say that's been a horrible winter.
Long winter.
A long winter, so I suppose it's good to get some heat, but alright, so basically we're going to be going over our sixth and final session today. So with your permission, I'd like to basically go over what we've discussed and go from there.
Yeah.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
Alright. So in regards to goals, we basically wanted to start off with whether we go back to work. And then from there we were looking at feelings of guilt around Ethan, which led to some issues that you wanted to discuss around your temper. Poor Justin. I mean, we can have a bit of a laugh now, but you know, it's still a work. And then we found out we wanted to look into your confidence as well.
Yeah.
So it's been a really busy session. I feel you've done amazing progress. There has been a lot that's happened, a lot of change, and I feel like you've been challenged. That's putting it lightly, but you've risen to the challenge and you've been doing really well. But you know, having said that, how do you feel you've been going?
I think that I have made a lot of progress, but I think there's still a long way
Yeah.
to go.
What sort of progress do you think?
I think that, you know, getting a little bit more confidence, you know, going back to work and managing all the different hats. But yeah, I still feel like there's, you know, we address one thing and then another thing comes up.
Yeah, which happens quite often, so that's fine. How are you finding work?
Work is good. It's hard to balance that and
Yeah.
and looking after Ethan at the same time, but
Yeah.
slowly
Yeah.
making progress.
How do you feel you're going in that balance? You say it's hard. Do you feel you're making progress towards it, or?
I think that I'm making progress, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
There's just still sometimes still some guilt there, and sometimes still some just being able to do it all.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you say there's still some guilt? That must be pretty tough. How are you managing that?
Trying to engage in less critical self-talk,
Okay.
which is easier to do when you're not in that moment. But yeah, taking myself out of that direct situation and doing something for myself to calm down.
Sure. And that is tough. And I think the fact you're making a conscious effort to do less engaging with that negative talk is very hard, but you're doing very well. So, I mean, are you happy with the progress you've made? I mean, with all in all, I mean, we can call it bring it to an end. How do you feel with that?
I think there's probably still a little bit more to go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so you would like to do a little bit more?
I think that I do need to. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, well look, what I can do with that is I can organise another contract now. We can sort of have a bit of a chat about what you'd like to do.
Yeah.
I'll work with you on that one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a contract's it's a fancy way of saying what we're going to do next.
Yeah.
So, don't worry, I won't lock you in like a bank does. How many sessions do you think you want?
I think probably another 6 would be a really good idea.
6 sessions?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Alright. So I think, given that we've done a lot, it's probably a good idea to focus on how we review each session. What do you think would be appropriate for you?
I think maybe we should talk about it at the start of each session.
Okay.
See how the week's been.
Sure. All right. Is there anything else you'd want to do?
Probably, I think sometimes it's hard to remember what's happened, so maybe I could write it down during the week and kind of go over that at the start.
Okay, I think that's a really good
journal
idea.
or a diary.
Okay, so you'd like to do a bit of journaling as well as part of this?
Yeah.
That sounds really good. All right. So what do you want to focus on? Because I think from me it sounded like maybe your confidence and then the self-talk, but I mean, what would you like to focus? It's basically wherever you'd like to take it.
Yeah, I think it's really maybe going a bit deeper and addressing the negative self-talk and the feelings that are around there.
Negative self-talk?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to look at?
I think that, I mean, it all sort of relates to each other, but, you know, sometimes there's still feelings of self-doubt that pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though I'm making progress, there's still a bit more to go there.
Okay. How's your relationship with Justin?
It's getting there. Still sometimes some difficulties communicating if I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Okay.
And maybe as I am uncovering things myself, it's easy enough or easier to talk about it here, but maybe it's still not that easy to have those conversations at home.
Okay. Yeah. So would you like to focus on communicating as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we want to really look at the negative self-talk
Mm-hmm.
and the communication with Justin as well.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Just being more open.
That sounds good. All right. Well, my diary, strangely, is pretty good. I could probably have you in the same time next week.
Yeah.
Wednesday, 10 o'clock.
Sounds great.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Well, I
really
can
well.
lock you in there. So 10. Perfect. All right. That's fine. So, look, just to run over what we've had a chat about,
Mm-hmm.
Claire. So, look, we've basically reviewed what we've looked at over the last 6 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
We think that there's still a little bit more work to do. So we'll start another 6. We'll make sure we'll review everything at the start of each session with a real focus on communicating and that negative self-talk, that confidence, I would say.
Yeah.
That sounds good. How does that sound to you?
Sounds really good.
Yeah?
Good plan.
Cool. Did you have any questions?
No.
No?
That's great.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, the review session. So this was for Claire. So just reading through the notes. Client name Claire Bowman, session 6th, and the date I put today. Goals I had return to work and address the guilt. I then had underneath temper, and then confidence. I then added 2 more goals to readdress confidence and communication, with the asterisk being the next sessions. So topics discussed and outcome. So we reviewed the goals, made progress. We reviewed the progress. I put here that Claire was happy but still wanted to do more. Wishes, yeah, and then I had here as well wishes for more sessions. Confidence and communication were 2 issues that we still needed to look into, and I put we'll look into it next session. Topics also, I put new contract. So under interventions and strategies, I put new contract drawn up for 6 sessions, review at the start, plus journaling, with a highlight on negative self-talk and communication. Next session, discuss confidence and communication, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Alright, I think that one was probably a little bit longer, but I think I was starting to get into the groove a little bit more, so it felt to flow a little bit better. As a result, I think I was putting a bit more focus on my eye contact, and tried not to focus down on my note, which I think I was doing a little bit beforehand. So I made sure to mirror a couple of times, to paraphrase, focus on the feelings as well, and focus as well. So I think I used quite a bit of the counselling techniques. Going through the steps, so readdressing what we've done previously, asking for permission I felt comfortable with, and also setting up a new contract for next time as well. So I think sometimes some of these goals can be a bit wishy-washy, if I can say that. Sometimes it's nice to put a nice firm goal down, so it's something that we can achieve, so increase confidence. I suppose that's something that can be quite subjective in measuring, but it's better than a longer drawn out goal that has been, I don't know, the way I interpreted it on these forms seemed a bit long-winded. So yeah, felt good. I'm looking forward to doing some more. Thanks.